Good late afternoon. I just wanted to share and show a deck that just arrived, and amazingly it only took it 3.5 days to get here from China. Again, it's MakePlayingCards, which I won't babble on about. I'm slightly disappointed sometimes with them, but of all the choices, they're the most consistent in terms of what you end up with. And there's where it came from. Dongjuan, China. I just can't get over how quick that happened. Heck, I've ordered decks that are from Virginia, which is where I live, and they take longer than a few days. But what I called this, or ended up just labeling it on this art card or whatever they call them, is spirit cards from the Sacred Keep. And then I give credit to her and her channel, and I just mentioned me as the one that did these somewhat sketches, which I'm counting as part of Inktober as well, and then the date down there. So that's what the art like card looks like, which is basically the backs. It's just a sketch, black and white, some ink, a little bit of color for the candle, but not much. And I got two of these in case, all credit to her, of course, but in case she wants one. This is the second deck. There are 162 cards in this thing, which is like, wow. I like how I tried to color code some of it. I like how that comes out on the side. And I just got it shrink wrapped. Strangely, the boxes haven't even shipped yet. But I got the type of box that lets you put, I think, 3 or 4 poker decks in it, which is what this size is. These are poker size cards, because that seemed appropriate for something so huge like this is. But that's there. If she wants it, she contact me, free of charge. If not, that's cool too. I just put it in a cedar chest with lots of other things. And maybe someday someone will inherit that. But it started out like this, just plain cards you can get. And I wrote the words on there because there's a lot of responses, over 100. I forget, it ends up being 58 cards, so what's that, 116? But basically this is divided into several decks that she's using to do her, what sometimes is called the ghost readings, or it comes down to it's taking what you would normally do, kinda, if that's normal, with a Ouija board, but not making you spell out every word. It's just a more efficient single person kind of way of doing it. But I came up with these, and then I liked how that started to look, so I went ahead and did some simple sketches for each of the cards and changed the colors. The top row up here is what I called the life form, like who were you when you were alive. And you got 2 child, 2 adults, and then 2 what I called older, which is crone and sage. But you can see I kind of kept colors from, I believe she uses the cherry lilac Lenormand. So I kind of mimicked one of those pictures a little bit. I mimicked the boy, if that's what that is. Then the adult is similar but different. I'm not sure how well those show up. Let's pick the crone since it seems very dark. And again, like usual, I forgot how dark they are once they're printed, so I should have lightened it with Photoshop or something, but I didn't use that. Just did Procreate and iPad and doodled and put the words in places where they could be read easily. So that there's a form in life. The next was cause of death, I believe she was saying. And like before, all the backs are the same. They look like that. Duel, fire, drowning. Natural causes, old age, which sounds like the same thing. Suffocation, suicide, accident. And then these, which I changed the doodle a little to have some sort of something emanating, because this was what's the energy at death. revenge, regret, locked, hiding, decay, control, secret, suffering, find, change, help, lost, alone. I will link to her video where she goes over these much better than I will, because I'm not looking to sell or distribute. I needed a project at a bad time, as I've come to find out that I kind of miss doing stuff like that. A little deadline for no real reason other than have something to do. Body remains, I called it. I guess it would be, where you're buried kind of thing. Not found. I found it strange that I tried to do a sarcophagus and it came out with the face of, if that shows up, kind of the face of Darth Vader. That was not intentional. Not found. Lake, underground, coffin, cremation, dumped, forest, at sea, and then occasionally here I added other things, other frozen, because another thing this reminds me of, in the last couple of years of my second wife, before she passed, she got into all sorts of things, but definitely necromancy and contacting spirits and all that sort of thing, because I guess that's something you'd naturally be interested in as that approaches. So this reminded me of something that she had done to scale down a Ouija board or make it more efficient, and hers were just flashcards though. She didn't have it divided up into this deck approach that Sacred Keep has here. And the blue cards here are, I called it info via, like how are you being communicated with from spirit. Taste, touch, sight, hear, smell. Not sure what shared was. Third eye, I'll pick that one up since it's kind of dark. See if that shows up. It's like one of those chakra meditating images. But they turned out okay. I mean, considering it's a print on demand sort of thing, then that's just the months of the year over and over, all 12. At least the Gregorian calendar, which really isn't something I totally go by unless forced to. And then the days of the week, Sunday through Saturday, color-coded in I guess those are colors you see in various things, Wiccan, whatever. And then the time of day, we got dawn, morning, midday, afternoon, dusk, evening, night. All these are original doodles. Not great art, not great sketches, but it just adds, something to the words. You can see, tried to make the sun go up and come down and didn't quite pull it off. Maybe these could be reversed, evening, dusk, I don't know. I did expand on that one quite a bit. The evening one I kind of liked, like a birth or something, I don't know. But that was those decks, and then here's something I added at the end. I'll show the response cards here in a second. But she often uses a bell, has a candle going, and a rattle, and some stones spread around on the table when she's doing her reading. So I did a kind of clear quartz crystals, which probably aren't the correct ones. I tried to duplicate the candle that she uses. I don't think I pulled that off. And of course, if I'm creating a deck, it's going to have the frog with the bug. Although, again, it should be a lighter color of purple. Then since you have to, in a typical poker deck, you have 54 cards, and they have to come out to match that in terms of your order. So 3 times is 162, 3 times 54. So I'm left with a bunch of blank cards and some double backers, as some people refer to this, where the front and the back are the same. So I did that, and a bunch of blank ones where if I thought of some word, if I ever do these type of readings or whatever you want to call it. I could write additional words on there, as you'll see in a second. So there's like 6, 6, 6, so 18 extras. And then here are the response cards. It did not come with those plastic boxes. And the first one, I just wanted to kind of pay tribute that this is coming from Ouija board, the idea, spirit board, talking board, however you refer to it. And these are responses that you could get. So right side up is yes, reversed is no. And they're all like that. And there are 58 of these, I believe. Famine, unexpected, impatient, uncomfortable, open, disturbed, and I did color code them. So there's some blue ones. The color coding has no purpose or meaning. Just separate it out. It made it easier for me to do, keep track of. Trying not to go too long. But they all have the same pattern of mist, fog, whatever you want to call it, but with different colors. I think they turned out okay. They're the German 330 GSM, so they feel okay. Started out to make them all this. I started out to have different images, but that's a lot of effort. And it's really more about what she does and how you might use the words, the communication that's on there, not about the image, which is probably not that important or that appropriate, but kinda. You can vaguely see maybe in this image that the word sacred keep is above the door. The person just came down a long dark hallway, cracked open the door, some light is coming in. That seemed appropriate to me. I'm not sure that that's totally original, but didn't see it anywhere else that I've looked. But you know, you doodle, you draw, you sketch. Nothing's ever truly original. So that was a quick show, hopefully. And it's here. If she wants it, just email me. And those were the spirit cards from the Sacred Keep. And I will link to her channel and the playlist I think she has. So with that, I will say peace.